Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now because this is not the show for you. Now, what I'm going to discuss with you, ladies and gentlemen, as a topic of discussion, I'm going to talk about modern women, black women in particular. And I want to talk about how men are not getting laid with their own wives. They cannot get physical intimacy with the woman that they said, I do to when they was being married. A lot of women like to withhold physical intimacy as a way of manipulating a man. They won't give it up to him unless he does something X, Y, and Z. After you do X, Y, and Z, and then I will decide after you do those things to have physical intimacy with you, which is unacceptable. So in this reaction video, I'm going to provide facts, data, and statistics, percentages. And also for you women who claim to be Proverbs 31 women, I'm also going to provide facts, data, and statistics that come out the Bible. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started with the first one. And we're about to get into this, Jack. Give me a moment as I pull down the music just a little bit. All right, let's get to it. Let's go to work.
Never use sex as a weapon against your husband. And have sex often is probably some of the most extraordinary advice I never got. As a working mom, we get tired, exhausted, overwhelmed. But it is dangerous to neglect our husband's needs. And I'll explain to you why. Sex is such a huge part of a man's identity. It's the way he emotionally bonds with us. And it's crazy because God wired his body this way. When a man experiences an orgasm, his body releases the bonding hormone, oxytocin, in such extraordinary amounts. I mean, women experience it as well, but men do 400% times more.
The lady said in the beginning, stop withholding physical intimacy from your husband. Women are teaching women the wrong way to satisfy a man. You never withhold your body from your husband. Now, I'm going to give you scripture and stuff in a minute, but once you get married to a man and you expect him to completely go along with monogamy, you are saying at that time that I will be everything you need me to be in the bedroom. Okay? When a man marries you, he's not marrying you expecting you to withhold that thing that you know he desires or craves. If you are not doing that in the bedroom, if you're not pleasing your man, if you're withholding it as a form of punishing him as if he was a child, then you are not doing your marital duty as a woman. You are not a wife. A wife completes her marital duties, and one of those marital duties of a woman, of a wife, is to please her husband physically. He don't need to hear tit for tat. What I mean is, he may ask you for some brain. He may want some top. This is not when you say, well, I'll give you some brain if you go down on me. You wasn't even thinking about him going down on you until he brought up the fact that he wanted you to go down on him. I'm using this as an example. A lot of women don't do nothing for other men or their husbands unless their husband does something back. That's not love. That's not being selfless. That's being selfish. It ain't all about you. When you become a wife, you are definitely supposed to be a submissive, subservient to that man's physical needs. You cannot get mad at a man who all of a sudden wants to stray or look at certain things online or look at certain things on television when you are not being those things towards him. You won't put on no negligee. You won't put on nothing nice. You get too comfortable. You walk around the house looking like a bozo or a bum. You get what I'm saying? Men do not want that. Men want you to maintain the same attractiveness that he saw when he first got with you. Okay? It's your responsibility, lady, to keep your man turned on for you. It's your response, not his. You are supposed, a part of being a wife is to keep your man lusting for you, doing the things that's going to make him aroused enough to want to spread seed in you or spread seed on you. That is your duty as a woman. That is one of the many marital duties. Not just, that ain't the only thing, but that's the one thing. We're talking about this issue today. Let's keep going.
More. And so that skin-to-skin contact mixed with an orgasm creates deep connection. And I never just want to be a great mom. I never just want to be killing it in the workplace. But I desired for my husband to find me to be a good lover. Look forward to coming home to me. And through difficult conversations, because I was never taught this kind of stuff, I had to learn how to not look at sex as a chore or another responsibility on my to-do list, but enjoy my husband feeling respected and honored and wanted. Imagine if one day our husband came home and said, I don't feel like having sex with you. We would be massively offended and hurt.
Think about it. I got more for you before I put the statistics up there. 1 second. We're going to get down to this because a lot of you women are not being wives. Okay. I think you're not learning how to be a wife. You think everything is about you. I'm not going to do this for him. Ooh, that's nasty. I'm not going to try that. I'm not going to do what I know I normally do with him because I'm mad at him. He didn't buy me a purse. He didn't do that. You sound like an immature brat. Okay. So that's not how you're supposed to be as a wife. And you learn these skills, those things you're talking about when you reject him, you learn that in other relationships. You've done it to other men. And then when you get a husband, you think you can do it to him, but you can't. Let's keep going.
Once we make a commitment to be monogamous, right? Once we say it's only going to be me and you, a lot of women want to be monogamous. They don't want their man with anybody else. If you're a woman who wants to be monogamous with a man, then you're obligating yourself to fulfill his needs. Point blank, period. You cannot think that you want him to be monogamous, but you don't fulfill his needs at home. Like you're not being intimate with him. You can't say, I want you to be monogamous and then not fulfill the need. I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. The person is going to go outside of their marriage. The person is going to go outside of their home.
Say it a little louder for the people in back.
Right.
You are making it where men want to cheat on you when you're not fulfilling his needs. Your job should not come before your man's needs. Baby, I'm too tired. I can't do it tonight. You women are more committed to your jobs than you are to your men. You women are more committed to your careers and your education than you are to your men. Even though you're tired and won't touch your man, you'll make sure you get up at 5 or 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning and take your tired butt to work, won't you? And do everything that the supervisor tell you to do. You make sure the needs of your supervisor are met. But when it comes down to the needs of your man, you won't fulfill them. Think about that. That's the mindset of a musty back heifer. One more thing. I got some more stuff to show you. Hold on. Before I get to the statistics. Excuse me.
I was thinking something that I wanted to share that I think a woman needs to hear. There's a scripture that basically says that your body is not your own. And it says, don't defraud or withhold sex from one another unless it's for prayer and fasting for a season, if you both agree, and then come together again so that you don't be tempted by Satan.
So that you don't
come together again so that you won't be tempted by Satan. Your body, lady, does not belong to you when you get married. Gentlemen, same thing. When your woman wants it done, you do it. Unless you have some kind of problem, ED, whatever. There's different. I'm not talking about those scenarios. I'm talking about the scenario where everybody's body works and she's not giving it to you. All right. And he just quoted a scripture. I'm gonna put up the scriptures for this in a minute. Then I'm gonna put up the percentages from the other statistics that has nothing to do with religion. But the scripture does say that the only time you shouldn't give your man or your woman physical intimacy is when you decide to give a certain amount of time for God, prayer or fasting. After you have done your prayer and fasting for however long that y'all have said y'all gonna do it for a week. We're gonna not have sex or anything like that for a week. Something like that, for example, right? Till we get done. Then you come right back and you sleep with your man or sleep with your wife. Why? Because the devil's gonna tempt him. If you keep not giving him physical intimacy, he's gonna be tempted by the devil. In what way? Adult industry films, women on the block, co-workers, women who dress like thoughts, women who are flirting with him in the DMs. It's going to tempt him to stray because you're not fulfilling your marital duty by giving him that release that he needs. Okay? Keep going.
you don't be tempted by Satan. That's interesting.
So what the scripture is saying is that when you get married, you should not say no to sex. I've seen you practice that. We had sex through 5 months of chemotherapy.
Oh, yes.
We've had sex through, and I'm not talking about like you had a baby. Okay, I need to have some self-control. Don't be unreasonable. So let's put that to the side. But what I'm saying is that I've never seen you say no. Now, that is a strong principle that a
Really
woman needs to
is.
hear, because if she keep telling her man no, 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 and I think it's vice versa, even men. So, I mean, I can be tired too. Make no mistake about it. We have learned not to say no to one another.
Right.
Because when you have a sex drive and you're married and that's the expectation, you want to be able to enjoy that. What have you done? How do you do
I
that?
mean, it's part of that sacrifice in marriage. This isn't all about me
Uh-huh.
and what I feel like right now. It's about you. And for me, like, I want to know, I want to be secure that you're not out watching things on TV and lusting
Hey,
after some woman or whatever.
they
Not to say that that would be your fault
they
if I
say
withheld
if you
sex from
eat
you.
good at home, you ain't got to eat
That's
out.
what I'm talking
Come
about.
on.
I want my man like, shoot, I can't wait to get home tonight
Okay.
because
Mom.
Okay, now let me give you the scriptures, and then we're gonna get back into it with the statistics and more content. Hold on for a second. So I want to show you Proverbs 31, ladies, where you messing up at. Let's get to the scriptures. Now it says, oops, let me make sure I put it on the screen. I apologize. Hold 1 second. There it is. All right, it says in 1 Corinthians 7:3, in the New Living Translation, it says, the husband should fulfill his wife's sexual needs, and the wife should fulfill her husband's needs. Now, for you who say you a Christian, blessed and highly favored and all that jazz, if you are not fulfilling your man's sexual needs, then you are sinning. God is instructing you to give him physical intimacy when his body is craving it. You don't hear this in the church, do you? Because they want your money. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot. Let's go to another one. The King James version of that scripture says, the wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. And likewise, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does. Your body no longer belongs to you, woman. Your body belongs to that man in marriage. Now, we know God on all of y'all, but we talking about this part. Your body, when you say, when women and a man come together and they become one flesh, what that mean to you? Your body belongs to that husband. Okay. And likewise, vice versa. Now, 1 Corinthians 7:4 again, New Living Translation. Mm. The wife gives authority over her body to her husband, and the husband gives authority over his body to his wife. There's no reason for anyone to be in a sexless marriage. Okay? That is a choice. And if you claim to be religious or Christian, according to the scriptures, you are sinning against your God. Okay? If you're refusing to sleep. Now, if a woman has a medical problem, some health problem, that's different. Use common sense what I'm talking about today, okay? I'm talking about when you, and there's no reason for you not to give it to him. You're just mad, okay? I'm not done. I got more for you. I'm gonna play this woman, then I'm gonna play the statistics and show you how many marriages men leave women because they're not getting any at home. Divorce them. Now, you know, only about anywhere from roughly 20 to 30% men initiate divorce. 80% is by women who don't have a college degree. 90% is by women who do. So that leaves about anywhere from 10 to 20 or 10 to 30% of men who file for divorce. And one of the many reasons why they do that is because their woman is not pleasing them at home. She is not completely doing her marital duty. And I'm going to prove that to you with some statistics. But first, let me put this lady up and let her, what's she going to say? 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, as I play it.
So, man's going viral on Twitter because he is talking about why he divorced his wife. She was withholding intimacy from him, and they only had been intimate together
Oh, I'm
twice in
sorry.
two
Oh, it's on
years.
there.
So, let's dig into it.
I apologize. I didn't know it was on the screen like that. My bad. Let's play it again.
Been intimate together twice in 2 years. So, let's dig.
She said that the man left his wife because she hadn't gave him any in 2 years. This is your wife. He's still paying bills. He's still providing and protecting, but you're not pleasing him physically. He's supposed to go out in the street and look for a Jezebel. You're not. It's your fault if he cheats on you, if you refuse to give him physical intimacy. That is the least you can do. If he go out and sleep with Keisha, Mostefa, Rita, or Mary, it's your fault to an extent. He made a choice to do it. Now get it wrong. But you were the motivation. You are the motivation because you did not want to please him. Let's keep going.
Intimacy from him, and they only had been intimate together twice in 2 years. So, let's dig into it. I will never again negotiate intimacy in a marriage. It's why I got divorced. Men are miserable because you are withholding intimacy for him until he does what he's told. That is a private hell. If that is done to me, you're out, sweetheart. Too many women out there who give intimacy without conditions. He then asks, will you take care of the kids, the house, the dishes? I do that shit already and don't get laid for doing it. Your intimacy being held at the end of a fishing pole for compliance is only going to make you suffer. So a woman responds saying, your wife may have used it against you abusively, but I can assure you that most women are not withholding for that reason. They have many, many reasons why they want it less. So then Tim responds saying, then talk to him. If it's his attractiveness, get to the gym. If it's an issue with your body, mood, stress, etc., talk and work together instead of quietly suffering. There are ways to get better for both sides. I completely agree. So he then states, and I understand about postpartum things as well. Talk, work on a plan, and work together. You don't want to feel bad, nor does your husband want you to. The attitude of intimacy as currency in my marriage came 4 years after kids. There are many, many marriages where this is happening, several in which my friends are in. So then someone asks, we all agree the best way to punish a man is to intimacy starve him, right? So this brings me to my next point. There was a man that
Pay attention to this right here, because this other man, he made a spreadsheet about how many times his wife said no to physical intimacy. Now, this is going to blow your mind. And then I'm going to hit you with the statistics after this one.
is to intimacy starve him, right? So this brings me to my next point. There was a man that went viral a few years ago because he had made a spreadsheet over the course of about a month and a half to keep track of all the reasons why his wife would tell him no when it came to being intimate together. So let's dig into it a little bit. So some of her reasons were, I'm watching the show, in parentheses, Friends rerun. I feel sweaty and gross. I need a shower. Parentheses, didn't shower until next morning. Another one, or a few times this happened, was it was just a nonverbal no. There were other times where she just said, I'm exhausted, or I'm trying to watch the movie, fell asleep 15 minutes later. I'm too drunk and I ate too much. I won't have time to get showered and ready for dinner. In parentheses, we were 20 minutes early. I just came back from the gym. I feel gross. Didn't shower until the next morning. I have to be up early. I feel gross. I'm not feeling good. I ate too much. I'm sweaty and gross and I'm tired. A few more nonverbals. I might be getting sick. I still don't feel 100%. I need a shower. I feel gross. I'm too tired. No. Another nonverbal, and I'm watching my show. I don't want to miss anything. I'm just going to say this, and it's probably not a popular opinion amongst women, but if you're rather selfish and you're not selfless, just stay single. Withholding intimacy from your husband, honestly, is just not healthy. Or is it that work husband of yours that got your mind a little distracted? We always hear the extremes of, oh, what if she's tired? What if she doesn't feel good? What if she's depressed? What if she just had a baby? You know, we always go to those extremes, but a lot of the times it's women just simply saying no because they tend to weaponize the intimacy with their partner as a sense of control. That to me is absolutely toxic, and I don't like that word, but I'm going to use it because in this instance, it's actually something that qualifies.
Now, let's get to the statistics, right? Now, you saw that, right? Now, let me put this on the screen. 1 second. This is really a serious issue in marriages. So let me find it. Let's read it together. There it says right here. Hold on. What does not this one. This one. In the article, Sexless Marriage Statistics, Commonality, Divorce Rates, and Other Stats, author Benjamin Jorgensen claims that a whopping 74.2% of sexless marriages end in divorce. Men will leave your butt if you are not making them bust nuts. All right, just the only way I can say it. You know what I'm saying? 74% of sexless marriages end in divorce. Lady, you gotta get on your game here. Now another one. Data from the data from the nationally representative U.S. surveys indicate that around 7% of married adults haven't had sex in the past year, while 4% haven't had sex in the past 5 years. If you factor in couples who engage in physical intimacy on a very infrequent basis, the numbers are even higher, 14 to possibly 15%. And I just showed you one man. He said he didn't get touched by his woman for 2 years. Now let's play this right here. It says, what does the lack of intimacy do to a man? The impact of the, listen, ladies, you better pay attention to this right here. The impact of the lack of affection on men extends far beyond emotional and psychological realms. It affects their physical well-being as well. Skin hunger. The longing for physical touch is a genuine need that, when unfulfilled, can lead to various health issues and a diminished sense of overall well-being. So this is not a game. This is not a game at all. One more thing for you Proverbs 31 women who claim to be saints. I want you to hear what this lady got to say about that. You're a Christian feminist, basically. You don't want to do what men tell you to do. You don't want to submit to his needs. You don't want to submit to his instruction, but yet you want to claim that you're saved, or that I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Only God can judge me. I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? Being not perfect has nothing to do with you willingly choosing not to sleep with your husband or your man simply because you're mad at him, simply because you're trying to manipulate him to do something or to stop doing something. Let's play it. Let's get it.
Because the Bible, you talked about being a Christian, but it says the older women need to teach the younger women, and younger women need to be submissive. But you know how many young women are not submissive to what men say? But you say you're a Christian woman. Okay. You can't be a Christian woman and buck against what men are saying. That is anti-biblical, it's anti-God, it's anti-Christ, and it makes you the great Babylon. I'm going to be honest. But don't claim Christianity if you're not willing to submit to when men are telling you. A lot of women are Christian feminists. You claim Christianity when it works in your favor, but you put down men and say, you're rebellious. You are anti-Christ and you are the Jezebel.
I love how she said that, and it's the truth. So I hope I gave y'all something to think about. And I'll be seeing y'all soon. Yeah, what I gonna say to y'all? I forgot. Anyway, y'all have a good one now. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.